Hi guys, welcome back to your musicianship course. I am the one and only Ella. Today we're going to be talking about the octatonic scale. Generally speaking, when people talk about an octatonic scale, they can be referring to any 8-note collections, since, the prefix octa means 8. But in today's class, we'll be covering the one and only, well, not only, but the octatonic scale or scales. The octatonic scale is a symmetrical scale that has 8 notes featuring alternating half and whole steps. There are two modes of the octatonic scale, mode 1 and mode 2. There are also only 3 unique octatonic scales in the 12-tone music space, since anything beyond that would merely be a repetition. But for the purpose of today's class, we'll be focusing on the 2 modes of the octatonic scale. Let's first look at the first mode. Mode 1 sounds like this. The opening interval is a whole step, followed by a half step. So the pattern here is whole half, whole half, whole half, whole half. Here's an example of this mode in some real music. If you take a closer look here, you might recognize that steps 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds like the first 4 notes of a minor scale. And steps 5, 6, 7, 8 sounds like the first 4 notes of a different minor scale. This really opens up the possibility of having bitonality in a piece of music. So here's the trick to catching this on your next dictation test. If you find yourselves hearing the beginnings of 2 different minor scales played back to back, there's a good chance that I'm throwing an octatonic mode 1 at you. Now let's take a look at the second mode. Here's what it sounds like. The opening interval is now a half step, so it follows the pattern of half whole, half whole, half whole, half whole. And here's an example of it in some real music. The opening half step would usually give it away pretty easily at first listen, but make sure you don't get it mixed up with Phrygian and Low Korean modes, as those two folks also start with half steps. Take a listen at the first 4 notes of Phrygian and Low Korean modes. Now the first 4 notes of the octatonic mode too. As you'll notice here, the 4 scale degrees are what set them apart. That was your brief introduction on the octatonic scale, and I'll talk to you in the next video.